Welcome to the latest Motley Fool scoreboard. I'm on in Chocolate Balloon. We've got longtime fools, Lou Whiteman and Dan Caplinger, giving a 1 to 10 rating to a Moneyball wreck. It's Dassault Systèmes, ticker symbol DASTY, like nasty with a D. First, we'll rate the strength of Dassault's business, including factors like industry and competition. A 10 is invincible, a 1 is hopeless. Both of you have 8s, Lou.
Yeah, nothing dasty about this business on it, all right? Okay. This is software that shows you how real physical products would work in a real world environment without actually having to go through the cost of production and finding out the hard way. It's incredibly powerful. I oversimplified, but it's incredibly powerful, incredibly important to a wide range of industries. We're talking semiconductors, robotics, healthcare, energy, all hot industries, right? Look, if there's a knock on this business, it can go in cycles along with its clients. You know, when it is just kind of beholden to its clients' desire to use it. Last few years have not been the greatest due to economic uncertainty, which has caused investment in some of these areas to slow, but a fantastic long-term operation.
Yeah, I agree. Dassault's in a great area of the software business. It's critical for a lot of its clients' operations, and it has exposure to some of the top trends that are driving these kinds of simulation-type situations in a way that should give Dassault some good long-term growth opportunities as well. For management, a 10 is Warren Buffett, a 1 is Homer Simpson. Dan's at a 6. Lou, you're at a 5.
Yeah, I predict both of these scores will probably end up being low, but we got to go with the evidence that we have today. They had a CEO transition last year. Former CEO Bernard Charles was great, built this company to what it is. He handed off controls in early 2024 to Pascal DLO. DLO is a longtime insider, 20 years with the company, responsible for some of this expansion into life sciences and 3D experiences, which is the platform they've been pushing. But look, the numbers haven't been really there yet for these new things. I end up neutral, nothing bad to say, but I'm not going to give the benefit of the doubt or assume it'll all be fine. So a 5.
Yeah, Charles had an impressive tenure. Delo's gotten out of the gate pretty reasonably, but it's disconcerting. You would think at a time when AI and new technology is really pushing things forward that Dassault would have been able to put together better performance in the past. I think DeLo still has plenty of potential to get things moving in the right direction, but I haven't seen it yet. Until I do, 6 seems high enough for me. And 5 and 6, that's a perfect right in the middle of our 1 to 10 scoring system. For financials, a 10 is a fortress, a 1 is yikes. Both of you have 8s, Lou.
Yeah, it's hard to find warts here, okay? It's hard to find something to get upset with. 85% of revenue is recurring. I really like how that works. That's up from 70% just a few years ago. Operating margins in the mid-30s, almost 2 billion euros in cash, strong free cash flow. And remember, this is a time when some of its end markets have been relatively slow. I got 0 complaints here, Dan.
Yeah, this plays to Dassault's strength because it's seen solid long-term growth in both revenue and in earnings. It's got good free cash flow generation, has more cash than debt on the balance sheet, is in a really good position to take advantage of any time that the customer industries that it's serving really start to get going again and really power up. It should have the ability to do whatever it needs to do to adapt to those changing conditions and take full advantage. Dan, let's talk valuation. How well will Dassault's stock do over the next 5 years? How safe is it? 10's a sure thing, 1's a lottery ticket. So I'm giving it 5 to 10%. The upper end of that, I think, that's in line with kind of my market performance expectations overall. But a high safety score of 9, I think that Dassault's not going to have any trouble matching the market's performance. And its share price is low enough. I think even if you do see some sort of cyclical downturn that extends in some of these areas, that there's still a good margin of safety. In fact, I'd be really disappointed if shares were to fall in some sort of AI-prompted correction because it hasn't really participated in the AI boom. And so I kind of want if I'm going to get the short end of one stick, I want the short end, I want the good side of the other one.
Yeah, we are so boring here, Dan, because we're at exactly the same. I think market performance is right. I see potential headwinds here that maybe, some things slow down, but I think the tailwinds are long-term. Over a longer period, and I know it's weird to say 5 years is not a long period, but I would be higher over a long period. But I think market perform for now. Safety at 9. It's hard to imagine these tools not being needed, and it's hard to imagine someone really coming through and doing it a lot better and disrupting them.
Thanks to both Lou and to Dan. They've given Dassault a solid overall score of 7.1 out of 10. Lou doesn't have a top it, but if we're talking foreign software companies, then Dan prefers Constellation Software up in Canada. Look out for a new scoreboard every market day at 7 p.m. Eastern. Next up is Tesla. Till then, fool on.
I messed that up, so we'll just sorry, Mike.